Hello and welcome. You tune into Market Cafe. I'm Ankita Saxena. Good morning to everyone, and today is the start of a fresh week. But before we get started with all the cues you need to keep on your radar and how Indian markets have shaped up in the last week, let's take stock of how the Wall Street fared and what are the cues to watch out for. First up, the US markets. As of now, we do see the futures that are slipping in trade. Ahead of a very busy week that we have. We have the earnings season starting in. S&P 500 and Dow Jones both hit a fresh record high that was reacting to December jobs report, and also we do see. As of now, the stock futures are dealing under a bit of a pressure because there is some criminal investigation that is going on with Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell, and he has also made a strong statement saying that he is not going to bow down to Trump's administration. So as of now, as far as the futures are concerned, we do see some bit of a pressure coming in there. S&P 500 has already shed 0.5%. Dow Jones is down 199 points, and Nasdaq futures is down 0.7%. But on Friday, we did see a strong close as far as Wall Street is concerned. We did see Dow Jones that ended higher, 237 more points. S&P 500 was up 0.7%, and Nasdaq also ended up 0.8%. Also, with the tech stocks provided a lot of support, and there was selective profit booking that we saw coming in on selective names. But it's a heavy week of earnings due this week. Banking and tech names are going to be in focus as far as Wall Street is concerned, because we are starting with the earnings season back in US and back home, and here also today is the 12th of January, so we are starting with the TCS in India as well.
Well, yes, absolutely. Lots to watch out for in that case, Ankita. But along with that, yes, of course, today we started with some reports saying that Trump is weighing options for intervention in Iran. And maybe because of that, we're getting to see some bit of a pressure when it comes to the future markets. But interesting moves coming in for the crude as well as the commodity basket overall. Because, yes, oil is seen to be edging higher. As of now, it's a 0.5% gain. But you can't take your eyes off what's happening with the gold as well as silver prices, because gold has surged to a record high amidst this whole geopolitical risk that we are seeing to be shaping up. And along with that, it's silver that is up almost 4.5% as we speak right now, very close to its record high level, and now trading above that $83 per ounce mark. So yes, of course, the equity markets are buzzing, but the gold as well as silver markets, they are zooming away in trade right now. But with this, the oil markets that have been volatile amid a mix of oversupply, geopolitics, and energy transition uncertainty from Venezuela and OPEC to US shale and slowing demand. Now, prices seem capped even as the global risk rise. Sajid Kaura with FGE founder and chairman emeritus, Dr. Ferdinand Fischeraki, to understand his projections for the oil.
I think it's going to be more like $50, $55. It is going to be lower prices. It is going to be a lot of OPEC oil, which has been produced, now is facing the market. There is a surplus volume in the market available. So I think from their OPEC's point of view, it is very likely that they would be somewhere in the range of $55 to $53 range, which would be the dominant number.
And well, deaths from Iran's nationwide protests have crossed 500, according to a US-based rights group. And unrest enters a third week. The same group is claiming that nearly 11,000 have been arrested. The violence comes amid mounting economic distress and an intensified government crackdown.
And Donald Trump is weighing multiple options against Iran, including military, cyber, as well as economic measures, according to reports. Now, the move comes amid mass anti-government protest in Iran and warnings from Tehran that it would retaliate against US and Israeli bases if stuck. Now, US lawmakers remain divided, with some urging restraint and others calling for tougher action.
And Trump says that Cuba will receive no more Venezuelan oil or money, urging Havana to strike a deal with Washington. Venezuela, which is Cuba's biggest oil supplier, has halted shipments since U.S. forces captured President Nicolas Maduro. Cuban President Miguel Diaz-Canel rejected the threat, calling Cuba sovereign and defiant as the island grapples with blackouts, fuel shortages, and deepening economic strain.
And the Norwegian Nobel Institute has clarified that Nobel Peace Prize cannot be transferred, shared or revoked once awarded, rejecting Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado's suggestion that she might give her 2025 Peace Prize to Trump. Now, the institute cited the Nobel Foundation statuses, saying that its decisions are final and permanent. Machado had floated the idea to thank Trump for U.S. actions in Venezuela.
And U.S. Fed Jerome Powell is standing firm against the political pressure, says a grand jury subpoenas issued by the Department of Justice are an unprecedented threat to central bank independence. He added that the action is not about congressional oversight or building renovations, but about the pressure on Federal Reserve for setting interest rates based on economic conditions and not political preference. Let's listen into what he had to say.
This new threat is not about my testimony last June or about the renovation of the Federal Reserve buildings. It is not about Congress's oversight role. The Fed, through testimony and other public disclosures, made every effort to keep Congress informed about the renovation project. Those are pretexts. The threat of criminal charges is a consequence of the Federal Reserve setting interest rates based on our best assessment of what will serve the public, rather than following the preferences of the president. This is about whether the Fed will be able to continue to set interest rates based on evidence and economic conditions, or whether instead monetary policy will be directed by political pressure or intimidation. Public service sometimes requires standing firm in the face of threats. I will continue to do the job the Senate confirmed me to do, with integrity and a commitment to serving the American people.
All right, so that's the big story that we're tracking this morning. But other than that, keeping up with some of the other updates, now German Chancellor Friedrich Merz is on a two-day visit to India, his first Asia trip since taking office, ahead of the India-EU summit. Merz meets Prime Minister Narendra Modi today and will visit Sabarmati Ashram. Talks will focus on defense, trade and renewable energy, mobility and support for Ukraine. My colleague Sumita joins in with the agenda. Sumita.
That's right. German Chancellor Friedrich Merz is on an India visit. This is not just his first visit to India, but to Asia as well after he assumed office in May 2025. This visit is coming ahead of the India-EU summit. And before this visit of Friedrich Merz, Indian and German leaders both met on the sidelines of the G7 summit in Kanamskis in Canada. And today he's expected to meet with the Prime Minister. He is in India already. He's also scheduled to visit Sabarmati Ashram. And the leader then will be visiting Bosch's facility in Bengaluru. In Bengaluru as well, he will be visiting Nanoscience and Engineering, CNSE as well. Now remember, this is happening at a time when European capitals have shown interest in engagement with India. India has also stepped up engagement with European capitals as ties with the United States have become unpredictable. And this at a time when both the sides, EU and India, are also negotiating a trade deal. So what's really on the agenda of the German leader's visit? Well, both the Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the German leader, they are expected to take stock of bilateral ties. Defense and security is going to be a key highlight of these conversations as both the sides are working out details of a submarine manufacturing deal. And this deal could include tech transfer for submarine production. Now, why is this being talked about? Why is there a lot of expectation around talks related to defense is because India's defense secretary and German ambassador to India, Philip Ackerman, discussed co-development and co-production of defense equipment. There's also going to be talks around education, mobility, renewable energy, trade investments, and of course on the India-EU FTA talks as well. So overall, this seems like a packed month for Indian diplomacy. Not only did the Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal visit Brussels last week, but the External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Shankar also visited France and Luxembourg. And then we are expecting the visit of EU Commission Chief Ursula von der Leyen in late January. And President Macron, French President Emmanuel Macron, is all set to also visit India for the AI summit in February.
All right, moving on then, the United States Ambassador to India, Sergio Gore, formally assumed office, arriving amid trade friction and strategic unease between New Delhi and Washington. A close aide to Donald Trump, Gore is expected to play a key role in restoring trust advancing defense and Indo-Pacific cooperation and pushing progress on a stalled trade deal. My colleague Sumita Karir is joining us yet again to tell us what are the things we need to watch out for.
After he arrived, Al Gore struck a positive note in a social media post and stated that incredible opportunities lie ahead for both our countries. Now, remember in September as well, in September 2025, during Gore's testimony, he also emphasized that India is one of the most important relationships that the United States has in the world. And that is something that has been reiterated by U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio as well. Now, his arrival follows President Trump's approval on Thursday of a bill which allows for tariffs of at least 500% on countries that are importing Russian oil. And this is where Gore's role comes in, because he is known to be a key member of President Donald Trump's inner circle. So with his deputation here, Gore is all set to work towards restoring trust between the two sides. There is also hope that communication between New Delhi and Washington, D.C. will be smoother. Now, he will also be looking at some of the concerns that both the sides have. Definitely on the trade deal front, but definitely on US's closeness with Pakistan as well and how it plans to navigate its ties with India. He also has an expanded role as far as Southeast Asia is concerned. But let's talk about the trade deal aspect, because there has been different commentary that's coming from the US administration. On the one side, some officials stating that India has given the best deal, and then Mr. Lutnick stated last week that the deal did not happen because the Prime Minister did not call. So it all remains to be seen whether Donald Trump is all set to give Sergio Gore an early win. That is going to be definitely a key priority for Gore, but he could also be looking at facilitating Donald Trump's India visit for the Quad Summit. And of course, last but not the least, he will be focusing on bilateral cooperation between the United States and India on defense, energy, and trade tomates.
All right, thank you so much, Sumita, for getting us all those details. But with this, viewers, it's time now to slip into a very short break. Don't go anywhere. As we come right back, we will be talking about the stocks that you should be keeping on your radar.
Welcome back. You tune into Market Cafe with me, Ankita Saxena, and with me is Shrishti Sharma, and we are getting you all the cues that you need to watch out for before the start of D Street today. Let's take stock of how the Asian markets have opened up. In fact, the Asian markets are all up and away right now with the gains. They're taking a cue from Wall Street gains from last week after US jobs report showed that unemployment rate fell, and that signals a more resilient labor market. Now, investors are also keeping an eye out on the oil prices as Iran has entered its third week of protests, and we are also awaiting inflation data that is going to come out of China later in the day, as well as the interest rate decision from Federal Reserve. But for now, we do see Hang Seng that's trading up. It's very flat right now in the green. 0.07% uptick is what's coming in on Hang Seng. We have Kospi, that's up 1%. We also have Shanghai, that's trading up 0.3%. So as far as Chinese markets are concerned, they are a bit flat right now, but trading in the green. But we do see Kospi that's trading up 1%, and in Nikkei, Japanese market, now remember, is shut today for a holiday. But Asian markets are in the green, and if we can pull up GIFT Nifty and what that is doing as of now to see what could be the probable start for Nifty today. We do see a shade of green coming in on GIFT Nifty as well. So we can expect a positive start. Very, very marginal, 7 odd points. So it's a very muted start actually. Hopefully would start in the green though.
All right, let's watch out for the indications over there. And that was the Asia handover panning out this morning. But other than that, for the Indian markets, there are indeed a lot of stocks that you should be watching out for in today's trading session. So firstly, let me take it across to Meryl, who's standing by with a list of stocks in focus. Good morning, Meryl. Take it away.
Thank you, Srishti. All right, a lot of stock-specific news coming in today, and these are a few updates. These are a few stocks that are on our radar based on the third quarter updates. So coming up, firstly, there's Avenue Supermart. They've reported a decent third quarter, mid-teens revenue and PAT growth, nothing too spectacular. Next up is IREDA. They've seen pretty good growth this quarter, consolidated revenue and PAT both over 26%, 37% levels. Gross and net NPAs both slightly lower on a quarterly sequential basis. Next up, Phoenix Mills also seen a positive update. They've reported their gross residential sales this quarter have more than doubled, building on last year's smaller base. And the company has said that overall consumption growth trend in this quarter has remained strong. And this reflected demand resilience even as certain assets of theirs continue to undergo planned revamps. Next up is Ashiana Housing. They've taken a beating this quarter. Their value of area sold was down 12% year on year. Area booked also down almost 18% year on year levels. Next up is Signature Global. Now the company has seen its pre-sales drop almost 27% on a year-on-year basis, and they've said that the overall market environment has remained tepid, and this has impacted their pre-sales figures, and they will also not be able to meet their full-year sales guidance. So a pretty important update from Signature Global coming in. They have cut their pre-sales guidance for the full year FY26, but have maintained that launches continue to remain on track. So these were some of the key stocks to keep on focus from my side. Back to you, the studio.
All right, thank you so much, Meryl, for getting us that list. But other than that, let's also tell you some of the other counters that you should be watching out for. And first up is the big deal announcement coming in from Lemon Tree Hotels, as the company has announced a demerger. There's a structural reorganization plan that has been approved that will split the company into two different areas. One of them will be the high growth platforms, and other than that, it's going to be an asset light fee platform. That will be Lemon Tree Hotel, and the asset heavy organization platform will be Fleurer. Now, Warburg Pincus will be becoming a strategic investor in Fleurer Hotels, and the group will be split into these two parts, wherein Warburg Pincus will acquire the entire stake of the APG in Fleurer, and along with that, what we get to see is that Lemon Tree Hotels, 41% indirect Fleurer stake warrants a holding company discount, and as of Novama's report, at a 20% of the scheme is value neutral, and the upside requires a market re-rating of the parent. As of now, the brokerage firm hasn't changed any of its targets when it comes to Lemon Tree Hotels. Other than that, Dr. Reddy's is going to be focused as well. Interesting developments there, because the company has announced that post the pre-approval inspection of its biologics facility, it has received a post-approval action letter, and some of the brokerages do believe that the inspection pertained to Ructoson, and the approval now may be subject to DRLs adequately addressing the concerns in the PALL. So that's the news flow we are getting to understand on Dr. Reddy's. And along with that, it's the insurance data that has come in. With respect to this, all these counters, be it the ICICI Prudential, where they have seen the first year premium rising almost 25% on a YY basis. HDFC Life premium did rise by almost 15%. SBI Life premiums did saw a surge of almost 19%, and LIC's premium, first year premium that is, has seen a growth of almost 57.5%. So on the back of this data, all these life insurance counters will be in focus. And lastly, it's the lock-in period ending for a whole host of companies. First of them will be Wakefit Innovations, Corona Remedies, Travel Food Services, Rubicon Research, MKO Pharma, Canara Robeco, AMC. These are the stocks that you should be watching out for in today's trading session.
All right, so those are the counters that you need to keep on your radar before the start of D Street. But it's a news break confirmed. The union budget that will be presented on the 1st of February by Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman. The Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiran Rijiju has said that the session will commence on the 28th of January and continue till the 2nd of April. The first phase concludes on 13th of February, with Parliament reassembling on the 9th of March. My colleague Prakash Pidarshi is joining us with the details.
Well, the budget session of Parliament has been officially announced by the government. Parliamentary Affairs Minister has made an official announcement saying that the budget session will commence from January 28th, and that will continue till April 2nd. A very significant development coming in. In fact, the President of India has accepted the proposal made by the government. Remember, a few days back, the Cabinet Committee on Parliamentary Affairs held a meeting and made such proposal, which was awaited for the President approval. And now President of India has accepted the proposal made by the government, and the budget session will commence from January 28th. The session will be conducted in two phases. The first phase will commence from January 28th to February 13th, and after a break, The session will resume from March 9 and that will continue till April 2nd. The union budget for the financial year 2026-27 will be presented on February 1 despite being Sunday, and the economic survey will be tabled in the parliament on January 29. A very significant development coming in. In fact, the government will come out with the proper sitting schedule along with the business list. But at this point of time, a big development coming in that the budget session of Parliament will be commenced from January 28. Back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Prakash, for getting us all those details. But SEBI Chairman Tuhin Kanta Pandey says that it is all set to provide NOC for NSE listing process. In an exclusive conversation with ET Now, SEBI top boss informs that the NOC could be issued within a month's time. Listen in.
Well, I think so far as the NOC is concerned, you can expect it very soon. As far as your listing is concerned, that will have to go through the process which the NSE and others following the NOC, they would have to carry forward, which includes, of course, as you know, that whole process of DRHP, etc. and all that.
Are we looking at possibly in the next month itself as far as the NOC is concerned?
Yes, I think, yes.
Moving ahead, sir, in terms of the performance validation system itself, if you could give us an update in terms of how it's been coming about. I know it's only been a month. How has data been with regard to actually understanding it and going about processing it? And can you expect new players to also join in?
So it's a bit early to say, because I think the performance builds up over time, data builds up over time. So therefore, we have to wait. I think designing itself was a very big challenge for us. But the fact that we were able to design it, and which is a fair amount of technological work needed, because it's not supposed to be manual and people submitting information and so on. It's supposed to be picking up information from source and as the things go. So it's a pretty complicated stuff. But the fact that we could design it and launch it, and now hopefully if we have built up information, we would be able to really demonstrate the efficacy of that tool.
Right. So in 2 years' time, perhaps comparative data for Parva could well be a reality, you reckon?
Sure.
Moving forward itself, and my last question to you, the consultation paper with regard to longer-term F&Os, if you could give us an update in terms of its timeline, do you expect it to happen this year itself, sir?
F&O, I think we have been only constantly monitoring the data. Whatever the set of measures which we took in October 24 and May 25, they were rolled out in different phases, and the last one was in December. Right. We will wait and watch and see how it goes.
Right. Mutual fund time regulations, I believe there are new ones in the offing. Expected in the next few days, you'd reckon?
That's right.
And in terms of 1st April, I believe it will go online. Is that going to be the case?
That's right.
Now let's bring you an ET Now exclusive then. ET Now's Anurag Joshi caught with the Gautam Singhania, Chairman and MD at Raymond. Singhania explained how he plans to boost shareholder value and how he plans to navigate the company moving forward. Let's listen in.
We have a special guest today, Gautam Singhania, Chairman and Managing Director of Raymond. Welcome to ET Now, Mr. Singhania.
Thank you.
Mr. Singhania, Raymond has completed the demerger and also listed the lifestyle and the real estate businesses. How are you looking to boost shareholder value following the demerger, and what impact, what results are you seeing on the ground from the demerger that is taking place?
So clearly, when you do a demerger, you have 3 separate companies. So from an investor point of view, if somebody wants to invest only in real estate, he can do that. Only in lifestyle, he can do that. Number 2, from a management structure point of view, it becomes much easier because you get focused individuals to run those businesses. And then you can set up a good governance structure with different types of board members on different companies that helps you focus on what you're doing. So I think long-term unlocking of value will happen. There are going to be different multiples for different businesses, and shareholder value will get created.
Right. The complete man has been the identity of Raymond for decades. How would you define the group's connect and your link with the consumer? How is Raymond connecting with the consumer at a time when...
I think, the most important connect Raymond has with the consumer is an emotional connect. Raymond is a brand that you can trust. You've grown up on it, you've got married in it, you got your first job in it. It's been around for now over 100 years. So it's a brand you can trust. You have an emotional connect with. There are certain values that come with the brand. And I think that's what really helps us.
Right. Again, India is becoming very aspirational. We have an expanding middle class. The purchasing power of the economy is increasing. Also, demand for clothing, also for fashion brands is rising. How is Raymond addressing this opportunity, and how are you addressing themes like premiumization?
So there are two parts. One is, there's a continuous product development, innovation center within Raymond that helps us to keep in tune with the market, what's going on. On the premiumization side, you've seen the launch of the Chairman's Collection, which is very different. It's unique. It addresses that market. So I think it would be like mass customization of designer wear. So we're making designer wear more affordable. And I think that's really hitting the target end. I mean, today I was hearing somewhere in North India, in a small town, we sold 2 Vicuna suit lengths at 18 lakhs a piece. Now, it must be a class 4, class 5 town, but to sell 2 Vicuna suit lengths, jacket lengths there, which is very, very, it's the top end of the market, it brings to my mind the famous saying, jo dikhta hai wo bikta hai.
Are you looking to expand the brand portfolio of Raymond Lifestyle?
Well, it's a continuous innovation process. I mean, like this fabric I'm wearing just now, it's the first time I'm wearing it. It's a wool cashmere silk, probably the first time at 210s done in the world. So it's something very, very unique, and I'm actually feel very happy wearing it today.
And any further capital infusions expected from the promoters in the lifestyle business?
Well, currently, no. We've got a good holding in, we're over 51% in the group. So I don't see any reason for it today. But as and if the need arises, we'll be ready for it.
All right, that was an exclusive conversation with Gautam Singhania of Raymond. But we'll move on. At the Vibrant Gujarat Regional Conference in Rajkot, PM Modi said that Gujarat has played a major role in India's progress and that he aims to attract global investors which benefit the country, promote MSMEs and startups. Let's listen in.
ये समिट इन्वेस्टमेंट से भी आगे बढ़कर ग्लोबल ग्रोथ, इंटरनेशनल कोऑपरेशन और पार्टनरशिप का एक मजबूत प्लेटफॉर्म बन गई है। बीते सालों में ग्लोबल पार्टनर्स की संख्या लगातार बढ़ती गई है और समय के साथ ये समिट इंक्लूजन का भी बहुत बड़ा उदाहरण बन गई है। यहां कॉरपोरेट ग्रुप के साथ साथ कोऑपरेटिव्स, एमएसएमईज, स्टार्टअप्स, मल्टीलेटरल और बायलेटरल संगठन, इंटरनेशनल फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशंस सभी एक साथ संवाद करते हैं।
And CMD of Reliance Industries, that is Mukesh Ambani, puts emphasis on Reliance Foundation and its vision of bringing Olympics to Ahmedabad. He also talks about major developmental projects in Gujarat. Listen in.
After 20 years of vibrant Gujarat in Gandhinagar, it's a privilege to participate in the first regional Vibrant Gujarat Summit in this historic city of Rajkot. This summit will be a true force multiplier for the manifold development of Saurashtra. I salute Rajkot, truly a Raja, a king among cities of Gujarat. Reliance will partner with the Gujarat government to manage the Veer Savarkar Multi-Sports Complex in Naranpura, a hub for hosting national and international events and training India's future champions. We are also establishing a world-class hospital in Jamnagar in Saurashtra and expanding our education facilities multifold. Development of Gujarat is our sankalp.
Another vibrant Gujarat Regional Conference in Rajkot, MD Adani Ports Karan Adani talks about Gujarat and its relation with Adani Group. He also talks about the growth of Gujarat and its contribution to India's growth as a whole. Let's take a look.
Today, India does not merely aspire to grow, it aspires to lead, to set standards, and to shape the future of the world. And Gujarat stands as the living proof of this philosophy, where vision is matched by execution and ambition is backed by delivery. Today, Gujarat stands among India's most industrially advanced and globally connected states, contributing to over 8% to India's GDP, accounting for 17% of industrial output, handling 40% of the nation's cargo through its ports, and leading in renewable energy. Gujarat exemplifies what integrated development truly means.
My colleague Charu caught up with the MD and CEO of Ashok Leyland, Shenu Agrawal, on their role and expectations from the government's EV policy. Listen in.
We are already in the process of supplying more than 900 buses to Delhi government for the city of Delhi. And I think, right now the noise is more in metro cities like Delhi and Mumbai and Bangalore, etc. But I think every city, every state government will have to consider EV as the future. And which is happening because, these mega incentives that have been provided through CESL for adoption of electric buses in the states. Government coming up with PLI scheme for electric vehicles, government coming up with PLI for battery cells, government coming out with several other promotions, incentives, etc. I think this EV story is bound to happen. And you wouldn't believe that Ashok Leyland in 2011, when nobody actually knew about EV or electric vehicles, Ashok Leyland had developed the first prototype of the electric bus. Right? So our company's DNA is innovation. And we always kind of believe in doing things ahead of time. We are pretty good at forecasting the trends in the future in the market, especially in terms of technology. So we do want to take a major step when it comes to clean and green mobility.
So if I ask you, for example, 3 points that you think the industry is most keen about while, conversing with the government, especially, for example, in Delhi scenario, if we take, for example, for the EV policy, yes. What do you think are the things that you are looking for, not individually, but also as an industry?
Yeah. So I think there are 2 or 3 important points for government to consider, whether it's a state government or a national government. Number one is, right now the prices of EV buses and trucks is about 2.5 to 3 times that of a diesel. So this creates a lot of impediment in the mind of the customers because affordability also matters. While I agree that the operating cost of an electric bus, for example, is less than half of that of the diesel, but like if you pay 40 lakh rupees for an electric bus, for a diesel bus, and you have to pay 1 crore for an electric bus, so people would hesitate, customers would hesitate, even knowing that per kilometer basis, electric vehicle would be much better. So I think what government can do is to take some measures to decrease that anxiety or hesitation in the minds of the customer to adopt EVs. Like some incentives maybe upfront, some rebate on the road tax, rebate on the tolls. There are several things that government can do. That is one. Other is that government should really promote localization of EV supply chain.
And well, moving on to ET Now's Budget Yatra, we travel to Jaipur to hear directly from industry leaders, professionals and students on what they expect from Budget 2026. From MSMEs and exports to healthcare, education and the youth aspirations, Jaipur lays out a grounded, growth-focused wish list for North Block. Here's a sneak peek.
Hello and welcome to ET Now. We bought this budget special show from Pink City, Jaipur. You can see Nahargarh Fort, Jaigarh Fort behind me, the symbol of Jaipur city. And I'm joined by members of 40, a prominent trade and industry body in Jaipur in Rajasthan, representing all sectors from travel and tourism to exports, export sector, gems and jewelry. So from 40 members, I would like to know their suggestions for upcoming union budget. Ma'am, you represent which sector and what are your suggestions for Madam Nirmala Sitharaman?
Yeah, so thanks for asking this. Myself, Neelam Mittal, I'm a 40 president, represent as an industrial women president. So I'm belong to industries, modular furniture industry. So we required this budget through to central government. We have 2 to 3 demands. One is skill development. If you develop the skill development through to industrial person, not exactly in a private sector or any others. Second, easy to portal or easy to access your policy to implement in the industrial person. Third one is an easy to maintain the financing department also. So we required few demands only as an industry so that we can run easily our industries.
Okay. Ma'am, you are from which sector and what are your expectations, suggestions for Madam Finance Minister?
Hello, I am Dr. Tanu Rungta. We own Dermatian Skin and Hair Clinic in Vaishali Nagar. So my request is that we have all the Chiranjeevi Yojanas for the hospitals right now. So if that could be extended to the clinics so that even OPD consultations could be taken by the people with Chiranjeevi cards, and also some small OPD procedures can be done for them.
I am from Medical and Health. So my suggestion for the Finance Minister, for Nirmala Sitharamanji, it is that if one side you get the increasing your budget for the medical and health, so suggestion is that ki increase CSC, PSC, increase robust network for the medical and health, mobile medical unit, radiology and pathology.
All right, with this, it's time now once again to slip into a very short break. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back on the other side. Welcome back to Market Cafe right here on ET Now, and we are counting down to the BMC elections that will take place on January 15th. Now, the elections to the most richest civic body in India will be significant as it determines the fate of the financial capital of India. Watch this report to know more.
The financial capital of India, home to the wealth makers, a city that never sleeps, a city that never stops moving. For decades, Mumbai has represented the aspirations of rising India. With a GDP of 25.73 lakh crore rupees in 2025, Mumbai is the highest contributor to the country's economic growth. And that's why the elections to the civic body that shape the life of the city assumes national significance.
Now looking at the electric AC buses, the metros, I would say yes, there has been an upgradation. Today I have been paying taxes since long. Now I think yes, as a return, the metro, the electric bus and public transport becoming strong in Mumbai.
New towers are developed, but roads are not broadened, and there are lots of we require more gardens for people for our health, and health related there are no steps or major steps from BMC for the health of common people. So that should be given more weightage.
Air in Mumbai, Delhi or anywhere is not pure, and because of that diseases या फिर dirty waters, clean नहीं होते waters हमारे, and roads, biggest issue roads, मतलब गड्ढे कितने हैं आजकल.
अगर आप मुंबई में खुली सड़क पे घूम रहे हो तो आपको पब्लिक टॉयलेट जो है ना बिल्कुल भी साफ़ नहीं मिलते हैं. किसी भी टॉयलेट में आप चले जाइए, इतनी गंदगी रहती है कि आप यूज नहीं कर सकते हैं, और यहाँ ये सबसे बड़ा इशू है.
BMC, being India's richest civic body, its budget for 2025 was above 74,000 crore rupees, the revenue for which was above 40,000 crore rupees. Major revenue generating sources for the BMC have been the now abolished octroi, premiums and property tax. And this is where BMC plays an important role in policy making decisions. Decisions on property tax directly impact the housing market in the mega city.
Real estate in Bombay provides almost 55% of the revenue of Bombay, of BMC rather. So I feel supporting the real estate developers' ease of doing business is highly on the top priority list right now, I think, because getting approvals from corner to corner becomes tough, is time consuming, as well as it delays the process of redevelopment.
Shopkeepers, traders and small enterprises have ensured Mumbai's economy runs like a well-oiled machine. Will the new BMC administration ensure their demands are taken into consideration?
इजी वन वे पॉलिसी लानी चाहिए, वन विंडो पॉलिसी, जिसकी तरफ से कोई भी इंडस्ट्री है तो कोई भी जीएसटी हो या दूसरी इंडस्ट्री से रिलेटेड जो भी लाइसेंस वगैरह जो होते हैं वो इजी वे में मिल जाने चाहिए। और सरकार के जितने भी डिपार्टमेंट है, जीएसटी हो, इनकम टैक्स हो, जो भी एजेंसी हो, उनका भी पूरा सहयोग सारी इंडस्ट्री को मिलना चाहिए।
Mumbai houses key financial institutions like BSC, NSC, RBI and LIC. Key trading points like JNPT and Mumbai Port and Bollywood. Top corporate houses too are headquartered in this city, making it a financial powerhouse. Civic bodies' role to ensure living conditions that are conducive for big conglomerates and foreign investors to thrive is in focus. 2026 elections in Mumbai will be the first civic elections in 9 years. For over 3 years, Mumbai has been without a mayor. And the tenure ahead for the new corporation will be challenging, with some mega projects coming up that will change the face of the city. 750 crore rupees Central Park at Mahalakshmi Racecourse that aims at expanding the green cover in the concrete jungle. The Gargai Dam project that aims to add to Mumbai's ever-expanding water needs. A cable bridge in South Mumbai that will ensure traffic decongestion. 14,000 crore rupee link road project that connects the eastern suburbs to west. And a 4,000 crore rupee waste management contract that could make the city's waste disposal world-class.
जो अफोर्डेबल हाउसिंग है, लैंड की कॉस्ट इतनी बढ़ गई है कि लोग कोई बड़ा बिजनेस यहाँ अगर करना चाहे तो एक्विजिशन कॉस्ट बहुत बढ़ गया है। तो हम चाहते हैं कि बीएमसी इसमें कुछ करे, लोगों को एनओसी लैंड का एक्विजिशन के कायदे इतने इमीडिएट होने चाहिए कि ताकि काफ़ी आसानी से लोग इन्वेस्टमेंट करें। ईज ऑफ इन्वेस्टमेंट शुड बी देयर।
No other civic election in India has been as anticipated and watched out for as much as Mumbai. Will the newly elected civic body give the city its money's worth? The writing will be on the wall on January 16th. Bureau Report, ET Now.
All right, so everyone has been watching out for the BMC elections that take place on the 15th of January. But let's move on to a stock that's going to be in focus today. Lemon Tree, that will be in focus on the back of a demerger. Lemon Tree Hotels and Fleur Hotels are undergoing a significant restructuring, with Warburg Pincus investing up to 960 crores in Fleur. This move will create two distinct platforms, Lemon Tree as an asset-light management company and Fleur as a growth-oriented hotel ownership entity. My colleague Snehi Shah is joining us with the details of this demerger.
Well, yes, Lemon Tree is in focus on the back of the demerger that they've announced, wherein Lemon Tree will be demerging its subsidiary Fleur Hotels to create two clearly differentiated and complementary platforms going ahead. One is going to be Lemon Tree Hotels and the other is going to be Fleur Hotels. The difference here and the rationale behind this demerger is that Lemon Tree will continue to be an asset-light, pure-play company focused only on hotel management, and Fleur will focus on hotel ownership and leasing platform. Warburg Pincus here will acquire 41.09% stake that APG holds in Fleur right now. This is going to be happening before the merger is completed. So this provides an exit to APG, and Warburg is going to be coming in with a 41% stake. Let's talk about the steps of the demerger. First, Lemon Tree will be merging two wholly owned subsidiaries, Carnation Hotels and Hampstead Living, with itself. Then secondly, four wholly owned subsidiaries of Lemon Tree will be merging with Fleur, against which Fleur is going to be issuing shares to Lemon Tree. Now, we don't know what the share swap ratio is going to be, which is why it's difficult to value this deal. 12 hotels and exclusivity on all future developments are also going to be transferred from Lemon Tree to Fleur. So let's talk about the shareholding. Lemon Tree shareholders will directly and indirectly own 73.99%. That's almost 74% of Fleur Hotels. Shareholders will own about 33%, plus Lemon Tree directly will be holding about 41%. Warburg Pincus will own the balance 26%. Remember, they're buying a 41% stake, but this is going to be diluted all the way down to 26%. So going ahead, own portfolio for Fleur will increase from 3,993 keys and 24 operating hotels to 5,813 keys to 41 hotels. This demerger is expected to be completed in the next 12 to 15 months post nods coming in from shareholders and the regulatory body. So yes, that's the news on Lemon Tree Hotels.
All right, thank you so much, Snehi, for all those details. But what about Avenue Supermart, Snehi? The company did come out with its numbers. Seems like a strong set and a surprise on profit.
Well, yeah, seems like a strong set of numbers for Avenue Supermart, but what's important to know is that a lot of this profitability boost has come in on the back of gross margin expansion, which seems like a one-time thing due to the GST correction, the discounts being given by FMCG retailers to get rid of their older stock before the GST kicks off, and also a lot of one-time benefits that have come on the back of GST. So how sustainable this is going to be something to watch out for going ahead. But yes, revenue slightly weaker than estimates at 17,613 crores, but PAT, EBITDA and margin are strong. In fact, EBITDA expansion has been seeing margin expansion at 8.4% compared to 7.9%. What's slightly concerning is that the like-for-like growth has come in at 5.6%, which is a cut on a sequential as well as a year-on-year basis. The 10-store addition looks healthy. 27 stores has been added in the 9 months of this financial year. Revenue per square feet is down very nominally year-on-year, but up on a sequential basis. And management reject, the current MD and CEO, Mr. Neville Narona, will be completing his term on the 31st of this month, and current CEO designate Anshul Asova will be taking over as the CEO. On the back of this numbers, brokerages have come out with their view. Goldman Sachs maintains sell, but they've hiked the target price. Macquarie, JP Morgan, they all maintain their stance, but JP Morgan has cut the price. Jefferies has maintained hold. Morgan Stanley has maintained equal weight, and Nuvama has maintained hold but cut the price as well, the target price for the stock. So that's the lowdown on DMart's earnings. Yes, they seem like a strong set of numbers, but how sustainable is this gross margin expansion is going to be something to watch out for.
All right, so strong set coming in for Avenue Supermarts. Let's see how the stock moves into the trading session today. But thank you so much for joining us, Nehi. But with that, it's a wrap on this edition of Market Cafe. Shrishti and I will take a leave. Thank you so much for tuning in.